After making $100,000 annually with a residential push mower, would I do it again? And would I recommend that anyone else do it? Nope, I wouldn't. Why? It's too much work. It's entirely too much work. And I felt like I raised my prices. I did all that. I try to have a tight route as much as possible. I'm only in my first 5 years, so a lot of that route density crap is kind of hard to achieve in the very, very beginning. But with that being said, would I recommend anybody do it with a push mower to make $100,000 a year, even though I just did that this current year? No. It's too much work. And I'm a hard-working individual. And for context, my $100,000 a year may be different from the next man's $100,000 a year because I never work weekends. That's a lot. I never worked a Saturday in 5 years. I don't work what most people call a Saturday. That's my Sabbath. I've never worked a Saturday. I've worked maybe a handful, literally less than 5 Sundays in the past 5 years for lawn care. Now, I've done other work on the weekends, but I don't do any work on a Saturday. I have never worked a Saturday for any job or myself in the last 5 years. So that being said, I'm typically running a 4 to 5 day work week. So my 100,000 is a little different from most people's 100,000 because they run in 6-7 days a week. All right, to each his own. But for me, I don't do weekends. That's for family. And I definitely don't do work on the Sabbath, which is what most people call a Saturday. All right. So I'm getting 100,000 out of 4 to 5 days of work a week. Really, 4. I have scheduled this year, to be honest. Last year I worked 4 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was like a makeup day or a side project day. This year I'm actually running 3 days a week, not purposely. I've been meaning to fill up my 4 days a week, but for some reason I just haven't been able to. So I'll really be working 3 days a week this year. But I made more than I did last year, about 40% more than I did last year. All right. Now, with that being said, because I'm working with a push mower, that's a ton of walking. I do about 8 to 10 miles a day walking. And what I've learned is that, bro, it's almost not worth it. I mean, it's worth it, but bro, my body has taken a beating doing it with a push mower. My knees, I'm not, I'm a heavier set dude. I'm more of an athletic build. I'm built more like a linebacker. So all this walking, my body shape ain't really made to be doing a ton of walking. My thighs be rubbing together. I done rubbed holes in my drawers for my thighs rubbing together, doing 8 to 10 miles of walking a day. I got rashes from my thighs rubbing together, doing 8 to 10 miles walking a day. I go through boots, maybe 3 pair of boots a year from just doing so much walking. My toenails are black because I have what's called marathon toes or marathon runner's toes, because they're bleeding under the toe bed because I've done so much walking. It's like I'm slapping my toenails down. My foot is deformed. If my 4-year-old daughter, if my 1-year-old my baby boy, newborn, steps on my toes, I holler. I cry out in pain because my feet are so deformed from doing so much walking, pushing these dang push mowers for the last 4 years. All right, so would I recommend it? No. I wouldn't. It just is that. I'm trying to get out of it, right? I'm in a situation because it's like the song Jay-Z said, Hov did that, so he's like I told you so, crack. No, Hov did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. So My advice, I can't tell people how to do stuff. I ain't made it yet myself. I'm drowning in debt. I'm working my butt off. You feel me? $100,000, and this is my brokest. I made over $100,000 this year, and I feel broker than I ever been. Why? Because I didn't plan accordingly. My bills and my expenses have continued to rise as I made more money, to the point where, man, I gotta make $100,000 just to survive, like to break even. And I went out and probably one of my biggest, I'm gonna turn this into my biggest mistakes, regrets type of video. All right. Or biggest lessons learned, by trial and error, because that's how I learned. I learned the hard way. My biggest mistake in this lawn care is when I was doing good, I went out and got me a truck. My other truck kept breaking down. And in the heat of the moment, you kind of start getting frustrated. My truck kept breaking down. My fuel pump went out, which is not a big deal. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I learned how to replace the fuel pump. It was not a big deal. Even when my truck went down, it was easy for me to get a truck from Home Depot, a truck from U-Haul, $20 a day, and keep it pushing. It was easy for me to push off my routes for a day or two and keep it pushing. But I felt that if I was going to grow my business, I needed a newer truck. That was the mistake. And because one, my credit wasn't good, so I took whatever they gave me. I ended up getting the truck I wanted, but I just went about it the wrong way, bro. I went about it the wrong way. I got an expensive truck. It wasn't a great deal. My interest was high. And then I went around and messed around and put an extended warranty, which I should have known better, because I used to sell extended warranties for a living. I should know better. Half the warranties ain't worth the paper they written on. But I went and got an extended warranty because I was running late for work, and I was just like, all right, yeah, go ahead, throw it in. To the point where I got this used truck that I'm making these super high payments on, and it's eating up my profit, man. The profit margins is so slim in lawn care, especially when you push mowing, that, bro, you got to keep your expenses down as low as possible. I cut grass in Southern California. Most of these dudes is running around with these old beater trucks, and I should have done the same thing. But I went out and got me a nice truck because I thought, hey, that's how you get good customers. They see a nice truck pull up, and I got less customers since I got this truck. People, long story short, that was a mistake, right? I should have, hindsight being 2020, upgraded my mower. I should have got a stand-on mower or walk behind mower with the sulky, and kept my old truck and just dealt with the problems of a used truck. But because I didn't do that, I got these old goblin feet where my nail beds got blood under them because I do 10 miles of walking a day in 100-degree heat, to the point where I go home and I'm in pain. My feet ache all night. I can barely walk. I got this weird thing in my heels where it's just excruciating pain. And because of that pain, sometimes I can't walk, and I have to hire people just to help me do a route where I should be able to do solo, but because of the pain with my feet, y'all don't want to hear about that. So just trust me. Push mowing to $100,000 ain't the way to go. Do what you got to do. The first thing you should upgrade is your equipment when you can afford it. Let the truck be something you can upgrade when you really can afford it, but it should be after your equipment. Even if you got employees too, I don't think push mowing is the way to go, because you're gonna have high turnover. You're gonna have high turnover sending people out with push mowing, because it's just tough. It's just tough work to do, walking all day. The best thing you can do is maybe put 2 people in a truck with a push mower and have them trade off. So then it's kind of like, it's like half the amount of walking, I'm assuming. But yeah, a solo route doing more than $100,000 with a push mower is not the business.